So good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Jimmy Kim, the General Manager of the Department of Recreation and Parks for the City of Los Angeles. It's a great day to be here with Council President Krekorian here in Council District 2. I am super excited to welcome you to this ribbon cutting ceremony today because just about last year in May, I was here with the Council President as well as some of the community members to do our first groundbreaking and where we had a pile of dirt, and look at this amazing park that we have here now. Let's give it a big round of applause for all the hard work. And just in time for 4th of July as well. So I could just imagine what this park is gonna look like on 4th of July with all the community, family members and children just really utilizing this park. So our parks are not just green spaces. They are the cornerstone of a healthy and vibrant community. They are spaces to gather and make lasting memories. And Laurel Grove Park will provide this community and those who visit an enhanced experience that includes a new play area and new play equipment that you see behind me, a brand new shade structure to protect park visitors from the elements we know that the Valley knows so well, the installation of new fitness equipment and improvements to the walking path to help Angelinos achieve active, healthy lifestyles without the hefty cost of a monthly gym membership. And just before I started speaking here today, I did walk this path and was able to jump on some of those apparatuses, and I'm a little tired, but what a great way to start off the morning. And also a beautiful garden inspired by the local community and much, much more. Now, this project would not be possible without the collaboration of Council President Paul Krekorian and his staff, Diane Corral from the Laurel Grove Neighborhood Association, and all of the community organizations that were instrumental in making this vision for the park a reality. Now, I would be remiss if I did not mention our Rec and Park staff, including our planning and maintenance teams, for all your tireless work to make this park a reality. So thank you to the staff that's here today. As the General Manager of the Department of Recreation and Parks, I remain committed to working with our communities, staff, and elected officials to ensure that all of our parks throughout the city thrive just like this one. Thank you all for being here to celebrate the opening of Laurel Grove Park, and thank you for having me back in your community for the ribbon cutting. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium a great friend of Recreation and Parks and even a greater proponent of the North Hollywood community here in the 2nd District. Please welcome Council President Paul Krekorian.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Let's give another hand to Jimmy Kim and all the men and women of Recreation and Parks who do so much for every one of our communities throughout Los Angeles. It's been my honor and pleasure to represent this neighborhood now in the council and in the state assembly for 18 years. I can barely believe that. And I'm coming into my last few months now. But I will tell you, throughout that time, one of my most important priorities has been to improve the parks in our area. And throughout that time, most of that time, the city has struggled to be able to keep up with the demand, just to have the resources necessary to keep up with the demand for improvements in our parks. And the men and women of Recreation and Parks, each and every day, get up, go to work, and figure out how to get it done. With not enough people, not enough money. Sometimes they have to put it together with, baling wire and duct tape, but they make it happen each and every day. And so, Jimmy, to you and everyone at Recreation and Parks, we're so grateful for all of your work. Thank you very much. And it was for that reason that in my last year as budget chair, I think one of my proudest achievements as budget chair, other than restoring the city to financial solvency, which was kind of important, but besides that, the most important thing I think I was able to get done was ensuring $100 million in new funding for recreation and parks, $20 million for child care centers, and another almost $80 million for deferred maintenance projects like this one, replacing playgrounds and ball fields and shade structures and bathrooms throughout the city of Los Angeles. And it was a game changer for recreation and parks. And this kind of thing is the result. This is what we can do when we reprioritize and focus on what really matters in changing and transforming neighborhoods. And speaking of neighborhoods, what a neighborhood this is. And I just want to just say how grateful I am. Again, I don't know how many more groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings I'm going to have between now and December. But so let me just take this moment to thank the Laurel Grove neighborhood and all of your leaders, Diane Corral and Walter Hall. You know, we have worked together on so many things over the years, on so many things. And truth be told, haven't always agreed on everything. Sometimes that working together had some sharp elbows, but this is what it produces. When communities are engaged and involved and, you know, vocal and are strong advocates for their neighborhoods, this is the kind of result that you see happen. I mean, I'd love to take the credit for this, but truly the credit goes to this neighborhood, working with Recreation and Parks and working with my extraordinary staff to go through every detail, solve every problem, and make it happen. It doesn't happen by accident, and so I'm so grateful to all of you for helping to make that happen. You know, we had to do this during the challenges of COVID-19, going through all of the, you know, challenges of planning this and everything during that period of time, but nothing was going to stop these neighborhood leaders and nothing was going to stop Recreation and Parks from getting it done. There's something special too, aside from all of these extraordinary amenities that you immediately see when you walk up to this park, which when you compare this to the way it was just 8 or 10 years ago, it's stunning, this difference. It is absolutely stunning. It wasn't that long ago when, you know, there were major problems in this park and on that street right around this park. Major problems, as you all know. And again, I want to especially recognize Jeff Camp and the rest of my staff for working with you to try to address some of those problems, some of which seem sometimes like they're intractable. The problems of, you know, gang engagement, you know, here, you know, gang activity, homelessness, you know, people living in their RVs, people committing crimes that ruin the quality of life in a neighborhood. It has been through the steady persistence of this neighborhood, as well as the relentless work of my staff and the LAPD, that we now have what you see before us. And I want to thank the men and women of Los Angeles Police Department for sticking with us and seeing this through as well. I want to take a moment to recognize Alicia Bien too, because we had the opportunity to fulfill an idea that she had of creating a butterfly garden in another park. And it was such a great idea and just such an important step forward, not just for the neighborhood, for the kids of this neighborhood, but for our environment as well. It was such a great idea that through Alicia's persistence and leadership and vision, we were able to integrate that concept into this park as well. And this is the first time that a butterfly, I think the first time in the city, that a butterfly garden has been designed and built by the Department of Recreation and Parks, and I hope this will be a model for future improvements as well. So I want to take a minute to recognize a couple of really special people who aren't here, who are with Recreation and Parks today, but they have to be recognized. Frank Bush and Ramon Barajas were both they had both retired. They were living their happy lives in retirement, and somehow we convinced them to come back into Recreation and Parks and help us out in solving these problems and completing projects. And they've just been extraordinary in making sure that we get these things done. And I also want to recognize Senior Park Maintenance Supervisor Paola Jaramillo and Park Maintenance Supervisor Cesar Lomeli for making this project happen. Their amazing maintenance, with all of their amazing maintenance staff, they really went above and beyond the call of duty to get this done and to get this day done. And so thank you to them. So, with no further ado, I just want to say how happy I am to share this moment with all of you in the neighborhood, and especially to our great neighborhood leaders. And I want to recognize and invite to come up to the podium Diane Corral for a few words. And as she's coming up, point of personal privilege, besides thanking Diane for everything that she's done along with us for the last 18 years, and especially thanking you for the times when you pushed us harder to do more and to do things more aggressively, that made our work better. And so I'm very grateful, not just for when we agreed on things, but I'm grateful for when we disagreed and when you pushed us and you were right. So I want to thank you for that as well. And as I'm thanking you for that, I have to also recognize every member of my staff who you've had an opportunity to work with, who everybody's had here an opportunity to work with. Please, CD2 staff, raise your hand and be recognized with all of our thanks, because I get to come up and do these things, but they're really the ones that do the work. So thank you very much. Diane Corral.
Well, thank you, Paul, for hiring such great staff. So this is 4 years. I don't know, sorry. Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. This is 4 years in the making. It was back in October 2020 when I got an email from Ron Bitzer here saying, hey, Diane, there's $3.9 million in Quimby funds that we got from NoHo West. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, it needs to be spent on parks nearby NoHo West. I'm like, we've got one of those. And so we contacted Jackie with Krekorian's office and asked to do a walkthrough during COVID, masked up with Parks and Rec. And we walked through this park and we said, hey, we want a new playground, we want new picnic tables, we want a walking path, we want exercise stations, we want the maintenance yard building fixed on the other side, it's falling apart, we want new screening, new fencing. And she just took it all in, and about a week after we met, I sent her an email listing all the things that we had discussed. And I said, Jackie, here's, all the stuff we discussed. And she said, oh, that's a great wish list, Diane. And I sent back to her and I said, no, it's not a wish list. It's a to-do list. And let's start with the most expensive things first. And you know what? It's Paul's amazing staff that made that happen. That was October 2020. By February 2021, just 4 months later, we had 1.6 million allocated to this park. It's amazing. So thank you, Paul. And we've been, not only did we get all those things that we asked for on that list, we got the butterfly sanctuary from Alicia, we've got a lot of other things, drinking fountains, pet fountains, you name it, we got it. And so big thank you. We even have 2.0 plans, so we'll see about getting extra funding for that on the little north side here on Sylvan. So I'm not done. But a big thank you to Ron and Walter and Jackie and all the Rec and Parks people, and especially Ramon Barajas. He's been fantastic. Thank you for bringing him back. I've worked with Ramon probably as long as I've known Krekorian here, Councilmember Krekorian, and he's fantastic. And we couldn't have made it happen without you. And Rec and Parks was so gracious in working with us through COVID. Many Zoom meetings with Walter and Ron and Jackie and Rec and Parks, just going over the minute details. They even let us pick the coloring and the theme. We're doing butterflies, throw some butterfly themes in here. They allowed us to pick the exercise stations. So they were really welcoming to the community and getting the community's input on what we wanted to see here to design this park. So I just want to thank everybody, that's been involved in this project. It's been 4 years, and that's amazingly fast for LA during COVID. During COVID. So big kudos to the city, big kudos to Councilmember Krekorian, and for having such wonderful staff. Jackie, Jeff, you guys are great, and Nikki from way back. We really appreciate you being here as well. And thank you to everyone for everything. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Let's give a round of applause to all of our kids that are here today, to the community that's here. Thank you guys all for joining. We're going to be doing a ribbon cutting, but I wanted to put out a shameless plug. The swimming pools are open, our parks are open. We have amazing programs, a lot of special events for the communities. Make sure you come out to the parks and enjoy the green space. Visit us at laparks.org for more information on all of the amazing programs that we have to offer to the community. So in just a second, we're going to clear this out, get some of you folks out here and some of the kids into the ribbon cutting here. So thank you all for being here. Let's have a great, safe summer. Make sure you guys stay hydrated because it's going to be hot.
3, 2, 1.